Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's Watches. Today we're going to be taking a look at all the new pieces that have just landed on the website now. So if any of these interest you, as always the links are in the description to each watch to see if they're currently still for sale, to see the price and all the extra photos. And also there will be a timestamp to skip to the part of the video where I showcase that specific watch if you don't want to hear me rambling. As some of you may notice, I've upgraded the microphone. This is the Rode Wireless Go. I'm giving it a try. We'll see how it goes. If it's any good, let me know down in the comments what you think of the audio. Hopefully it's a lot better than before because it's all been shot on my phone and the audio was also coming from my phone, so this should be a decent upgrade. Just like last week, I want to start off by saying a big thank you, because without all you guys and girls watching these videos, purchasing these watches, even just liking on Instagram, none of this would be possible. So thank you very, very much. It's been an incredible few weeks of huge amounts of stock coming in, huge amount of stock going out, thanks to you guys purchasing. It's just going really, really well, and I've got every single one of you to thank for that, so thank you very much. And if you would like to sell your watch, be a consignor for Kibble watches, or maybe I purchased the watch straight from you, at kibblewatches.co.uk there is a button called sell at the top, and there's a quick form for you to fill out. It just asks all the relevant questions for me to make the process a lot quicker, and I come back to you with a couple of example prices and how we go forward. As always, let's start with what is on my wrist. This is another piece from the personal collection, a gorgeous 1970 Omega DeVille. But as you can see, it's not just any normal Omega DeVille, it's a 40mm wide, crazy looking thing. It's basically a dynamic. You know, it's built the same way a dynamic is, and it is a chronostop. So it's a mix of a dynamic, a chronostop, and a DeVille with a fume grey dial. It is stunning. And as I said, it is part of the personal collection. It may go for sale at some point in the future, but right now I have no intentions of selling it. Now, as of the time of recording this video, only one piece is missing from this drop, and that is the Ghostrifter Original. Apologies if I butchered the pronunciation, I usually do. The Senator Excellence. Now, the reason that's not here is because it's already sold. A gentleman who came by to give me some watches to sell, saw it, fell in love and purchased it. So that is gone. But as of the time of recording the video, the rest of the ones you see on the table are available, but I'm afraid that one has sold. So we will skip over that one in today's video. Now, where to begin? As you can see on the table, there is a huge amount of watches, mostly with their box and paperwork. As you can see, we've got two Rolexes, we've got an Omega Seamaster back here, we've got two awesome Grand Seikos, which I'm looking forward to showing you guys. A very interesting Squaley, so don't discredit that if you just don't like the name Squaley for whatever reason. I know you guys are out there. A Christopher Ward, again, don't discredit it. So much watch for the money. A very cool Nomus, and a awesome vintage piece. One of my favorites, actually. So we're going to look at all these and see which one's your favorite. I think we all know where we have to start, right? We've got to start with the Rolex Submariner, so let's go and have a look at that one. So, the Rolex Submariner, it does come with its full box, paperwork, receipts, swing tags, spare links, every single thing you would hope it would come for as a full set. It doesn't come with its bezel protector. I guess that's the only thing that is missing. But other than that, it's got everything you want. Now, this isn't the latest Rolex Submariner, the 41mm. This is the now discontinued 40mm, which is still a great watch. So don't let that 1mm difference be the decider. It is from 2015. As I said, it comes with full box and paperwork. It's actually September 2015. And it is the reference 114060, which, as you can see, is the no dates model. Let's put it on wrist and show you what it looks like on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. There it is. So whilst 40mm and it's the maxi case, meaning it's got the thicker lugs, bigger plots, everything like that, it still wears incredibly well. So if you're used to the older style pre-ceramics, you will be surprised by how well this still wears. And you definitely get the whole feel of a very, very robust watch. I mean, that's what Rolex do, and that's what they do well. Obviously, you've got your Oyster bracelet with your Oyster clasp, the quick glide lock right there, super easy. And this is probably one of the best features of Rolex, in my opinion. This clasp, it just makes everything a breeze. The condition of this one is great. It's in unpolished condition, and it's just overall very, very nice. Now, these are incredibly hyped, as everyone knows. The prices on these have skyrocketed, and they have gone up a little bit more again since the discontinuation. How big is the difference? Well, I haven't been lucky enough to try on the 41 yet, but from seeing photos, there is a very subtle difference. Apparently, the 41 actually wears slightly smaller than this one thanks to the thinner lugs. I can't confirm that, but having handled this quite a few times and sold the date version and the non-date a few times, this is a really, really great watch. So if you're looking for your one and only Rolex, the Submariner really does tick all the boxes. You haven't got to worry. It looks good with a suit. It looks good with t-shirt and jeans. Plus the value, I think, is going to keep going up. It's not showing any indication of going down. So there you go. Now we've looked at the Submariner, let's have a look at a pretty stiff competition for it, the Seamaster. The Seamaster, this is the now also discontinued Seamaster Professional, and the latest one has the wave dials. This is the full ceramic dial, ceramic bezel pre-wave. I personally prefer this to the wave. Now, granted, not everyone will, but I think it's a bit nicer, a bit cleaner. I think the waves are a bit too thick, in my opinion, on the latest one. Now, is it a competitor to the Submariner? Without question, it's a competitor, and without question, it is just as good, if not better, a watch than the Submariner, and that's just the truth. Now, I can say that very openly, having sold both multiple times and having both for sale right now, because the person who's interested in the Rolex isn't looking at comparables. Usually they're wanting to buy the Rolex, and that's fair enough. So it's very easy to say that this is arguably a better watch for your money. The movement inside here is the coaxial caliber 2500, Meta certified, the whole thing that Omega do. So the movement in here is incredible, a really, really good movement. Now this is relatively new from April 2019. It does come with its full box paperwork, spare links, the whole lot. The watch is in very good condition. I would say probably with no signs of wear. Maybe you'll see a few hairline scratches on the clasp, but even there, it looks pretty good. The reason I'm not showing the full box is because it's a huge box, thanks Amiga. But you've got that enamel dial, as I said, which just catches the light and it gives a really, really dark look on the wrist, which is really cool. The latest Seamaster is 42mm, whereas this one is 41, and it wears very, very well on the wrist, as you can see. Quite short lug to lug for a 41mm, and it does slope down nicely, creating a nice fit on the wrist, as you can see there. So as I said, with this, you're getting pretty much all the bells and whistles you're getting with the Submariner. You're getting 300 meters waterproof. You're getting a helium escape valve up there at the top. You're getting a metal bracelet. You're getting pretty much everything the same as the Rolex. Granted, it's not the Rolex, that's the main difference. And this watch comes in at under £3,000, so it's really up to you whether you want to pay that £5,000 plus difference for the Rolex. Is it a better watch? Well, that's for you to decide. In terms of looks and everything like that, I did a little poll. The Rolex won, but there are very strong fans for the Omega, so it's that kind of war that constantly happens. There's been enough videos comparing these two, so I might not do one, but if you guys want one, I will do one. But this isn't a comparison. This is on its own and available. Now for a piece that has increased in value by about 30% in 2 to 3 years. That is an insane value increase. The Explorer. Now for a personal grail of mine. This is the Rolex Explorer reference 114270. And if you know your Rolex references, you will know that that means this is one of the last generation 36mm Explorers with solid end links, and this one has no lug holes in the case as well. Now the reason that's quite important is because that makes this arguably the best 36mm Explorer you can get if you want to wear it actually every day. Now granted, the vintage references of 36mm are awesome and I would love a 1016, but in terms of practicality and actual wearability and usability, this is probably, if not the best 36mm Explorer you can get, and here it is on my wrist. It just looks amazing. Now this one does come with everything: swing tags, spare links, box papers, even the date card. So everything you could possibly want with it, and it is in unpolished condition. Now, as I said at the start, this watch has gone up around 30% in 2 to 3 years, which is a huge increase even for Rolex standards. What's the reason for that? Well, the Explorer is increasing in popularity, and rightfully so, and the 36mm Explorer no longer exists. So if you want one, this is what you have to get, really. And if you want the best in terms of actual usability and reliability, again, this is the best. Now, the caliber in here is the automatic caliber 3130, which is used in a lot of the Rolex models. It's obviously no dates, really just a great looking watch. Now, I don't like to talk about investment because I really do believe you've got to buy what you like. Unfortunately, with Rolex, or fortunately, the investment topic always comes up. In terms of investment, this is what we would call investment grade, because you're getting a full set and you're getting unpolished, and it is a model that I believe, personally, as do others, is only going to go up in value. Now, that being said, is that a guaranteed? Of course not. Nothing's a guaranteed, so still buy what you like. If you don't like the look of this watch, don't buy it just because it's going to go up in value. You know, let someone actually enjoy this watch, and if they get that value increase they're hoping for, that's just an extra added result. Now, as I said, full box and paperwork, which is what you want. It is from January 2005, or at least that's what the papers are signed, and this is a F serial, which dates it at 2004. So very likely the watch was made in 2004 and finally sold in 2005, which is probably the case. But as you can see, really, really good condition. If you're looking for this reference Explorer, this is probably the one you want. So go check it out. Let's head over to Japan and take a look at the Sky Flake. So the Grand Seiko, that's been called the Sky Flake, and when you see that dial, you can see why. That is stunning. It looks like fallen snow. It's incredible. And the finishing is what you expect from Grand Seiko, just the finest. As you can see, you've got a power reserve there. This is a spring drive. So the reference of this watch is SBGA 407, and it's the spring drive 9R65 inside. Beautifully decorated. I'm not going to go into detail on how the spring drive works because that's a whole video in and of itself. Now, this watch is from December 2019, and it does come with its full box, paperwork, swing tags, and even an additional Grand Seiko strap, which are not very cheap, especially with the buckle. So you're in a bit of a resort here with that added in. And the price is not added on really for the extra strap, which is always good. The condition, as you would expect, is fantastic. And it is on its Grand Seiko sort of midnight blue strap that it comes with. Just a stunning, stunning piece. Now, dimensions of this watch are 40mm by 48mm lug to lug, so nice size. Only 13mm thick with 19mm lugs. It's quite an awkward lug size, but not impossible. Thankfully, it comes with a beautiful strap that it's already matched on, and the brown strap option, which looks incredible on it as well. So as far as value for your money goes, there's a hell of a lot in value in Grand Seiko, which anyone who's been looking at them already knows. But this is a stunning piece and definitely not one to sleep on, because I had one a little while ago, same reference, slightly older model, and it sold within a day. So you never know, this might take the similar fate. So go check it out, see if it's still there. Sticking to Japan, but this time a boutique-only blue dial Grand Seiko. It's really cool. Now for a boutique-only edition with probably the most incredible blue dial I've seen in a long time. Look at that blue, it is stunning. Let's give it a wind and get this watch going. It has got a screw-down crown. It is the high beat automatic in here, which is their caliber 9S85. So nice high beat, as in it beats 36,000 times an hour. As you can see, high beat 3600 stated there at the bottom, 36,000, sorry. Beautiful gold detailing, so the Seiko and Grand Seiko is in gold. Now, as you can tell, it's got Seiko at the top and Grand Seiko at the bottom, so this is one of the older models, because now it's just Grand Seiko at the top. So they don't do them with Seiko at the top and Grand Seiko at the bottom anymore. This is from December 2016. It's full box and papers and spare links in the whole lot. And I've got to say, both come with the retailer please remove outer sleeve. Just a fun little thing. So it does come on its original bracelet, and you can see the exhibition case back, and it says Seiko Boutique Limited Edition. Limited edition numbers aren't stated, and I don't know how many they actually made, because my research hasn't come up with anything and they don't put it on there, so a little bit strange, but it is the SBGH051 reference. Condition is again stunning. The finishing is exquisite, as you would expect with Grand Seiko. Nice Grand Seiko screw down sign crown. Just a gorgeous piece, and the dimensions are the exact same as the Sky Flake, 40mm by 48mm, 13mm thick. Only difference is 20mm lugs, so it wears wider that way, but it's unnoticeable, to be honest. And the bracelet is incredibly comfortable. A lot of watch for not a lot of money really, especially when you consider it's a boutique only edition, and I've never seen another one come up for sale. Now, I said this is the only vintage watch on the table, which is true, but technically this Squaley has a little bit of a vintage touch. Let's have a look. Now, a super interesting Squaley. This was made in collaboration with Page&Cooper, which is a retailer that's no longer in business, and they would always be the ones to buy these up and offer them again if they ever came on the market, and not many did. So now they no longer do, so that's why we got one. Now this one is limited to 60, and this is called the Squaley Page&Cooper Vintage Master. And the story goes, and it's all in the booklet of the set, is that they found 60 new old stock bezels at Squaley for their vintage watches. Now these are Bakelite bezels, and they've been coated or protected really with a sapphire along with the crystal, as far as I'm aware. And they found 3 colorways. So whilst it is a limited edition of 60 altogether, technically it's a limited edition of 20, because they only made 3 colors in 60 total, meaning 20 of each colorway. So it's a very, very, very truly limited edition watch. It does come with its box and the accessories, including the penknife and everything like that. See the website. It does come with its original strap. This is an aftermarket strap, but it looks amazing on it. Beating away inside is the ETA 2824-2, a workhorse movement, and the dimensions are 40mm by 48mm, 14mm thick and 20mm lugs. So again, a really, really good wearing profile, and that bezel really adds a lot of charm. You can tell it's a vintage style bezel, and you'd be mistaken for thinking it's a vintage watch at a glance. But there it is, one of 20 altogether in this colorway, one of 60 altogether in this series. So a true limited edition. So we've got Swiss, we've got Japanese, and now we've got German. Let's have a look at the Nomus. A very underrated brand, Nomus. And this does come with its box and paperwork, and it even comes with a spare Nomus dark blue strap, because this one has got a little stain on it, unfortunately, but it can still be worn. Now what you are looking at is the Nomus Ahoy Atlantic Datum, which is for the dates down there at 6 o'clock. And it is in not a black dial. Whilst it looks black in this light, it's a very, very dark midnight blue. I don't know how else to describe it. It's very difficult to actually capture the true color of this. Really, really gorgeous dial. Obviously you've got that sort of Bauhaus German design. Interesting lugs. This is technically their dive watch. Which is quite interesting. In the back is their Nomus DUW 5101 caliber, beautifully decorated and executed. Just an overall very, very nice looking piece. Now, size-wise, this is a 40mm case by 51mm lug to lug, and those lugs are very interesting in their design. They slope out and down, so they sort of grip the wrist rather than hug the wrist, I would say. It is 11mm thick with 20mm lugs. And as I said, it comes on its original strap with a spare strap. Just a gorgeous watch, screw down crown, which is signed. It's a lot of watch for the money, really, when you consider it's a dive watch and it's from a interesting brand that are doing things very, very different, and I don't think get enough credit. But that's just my opinion, so check it out and let me know your opinion. Now on to something that packs a punch for not really a lot of money, respectively. The Christopher Ward. Now to a brand that is undeniable in its value. This is a Christopher Ward C60 Trident Pro 600. That is a mouthful of a name, and it's in black. So you've got black ceramic bezel. The finishing on these always surprises me. You've got that beautiful polished chamfer that goes all the way around the case, and it just hugs underneath the bezel and around the crown guard. I think it's stunning. And the dimensions of this are great as well at 40mm, but we'll get onto that in a second. So this does come with its full box paperwork, chronometer certificate. Yes, you heard that right. These are chronometer rated Sellita SW200s in here, which is insane for the value. This one does come with its bracelet and spare links, but it also comes with a Christopher Ward rubber strap, which is a nice addition because it looks great on both. Now, as I said, Sellita SW200 in here, not to be scoffed at. This one is from October 2019, and there it is on my wrist. So 40mm case, 13.5mm thick, 48mm lug to lug, and 20mm lugs. So really, really nice dimensions. It's very similar to what we've been looking at all day, really. They've all sort of come in around this kind of size. I think it's a sweet spot that watchmakers and brands have found. And rightfully so, because it does fit very well on almost all wrists, including mine. Now, this watch retails, I think, just under £1,000 or around that kind of price, and what we're offering it at is quite a bit off retail, and what you get for that money is incredible. Now, I did a photo with this, the Submariner, and the Seamaster. Let's actually get them all on hand now to show. And I think these do offer incredible watches at their respective values. Now, granted, can you say Rolex is good value, the Submariner? Well, it depends. It depends on how you look at it. But in terms of their respective price ranges, they offer incredible watches. And I think that right there is a cool handful of great black dial divers to choose from. What would be your choice? Let me know down in the comments. Now for the only vintage watch in today's drop, and I promise I'll make up for it in future drops, so keep an eye out. It is the Mondaine Sea Devil. What a cool name. And last but by no means least, the only vintage watch in today's drop, and as I said, I will make up for it in other drops. It's a super cool 1960s Mondaine Sea Devil. Now that dial is grey and not black, which makes it very, very interesting because you've got a grey dial, you've got a white outer ring, you've got a black bezel, which is friction, so it's not clicking or anything, which is what would have been the case in the 60s. You've got a red date over there, and you've got tritium within the dial and hands. It's a stunning looking piece, and dimensions wise, again, it's smaller than what we've been looking at today, and it is from the 1960s, but it's still 37mm, and it's only 40mm lug to lug, so it wears nice and compact on the wrist, and really does give that vintage charm that you want for a diver. And in my opinion, Jesus, I can't talk. In my opinion, it is in unpolished condition, or has maybe been polished once or twice, because you've still got those original lines, which would be very hard to keep for a 1960s watch if you were to polish. Now, yes, it's in vintage condition. All the watches we looked at look sparkly and new, so that might make this one look a bit battered, but it is a vintage watch, and you can see it's got a little scuba dude on the back over there. As I said, from 1960s. It's a stunning, stunning piece, and my favorite of the drop actually. Whilst I love all the modern pieces, there's something about vintage that just really ticks my personal box, and that is why I love this. So check it out. So that's it, guys and girls. What an incredible drop once again, and next week is also going to be incredible, as is the week after, because we're already into that one. So keep an eye out for what's coming. As I said, if you want to sell your watch, make sure you get in contact today, because already November is full, and we're getting pretty close to December getting there as well. So get in contact now. But as always, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. Make sure you subscribe for more videos. And I promise soon there's going to be more videos than just these. I'm planning on doing a state of the collection and maybe a few Q&As in the future as well. So watch this space. We'll see you all next time. Take care.